You see that annoying meat pie recipe you've been holding for too long? Please take it to the trash right now. For today, I bring you the best meat pie recipe you've ever dreamt in your life. This meat pie went to Harvard and came back fully loaded. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Let's make this meat pie together.
Alright, let's do this.
These are the ingredients we will be using to make the filling for the meat pie. First, in a frying bowl, I poured in 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, as well as I poured in my onion, diced onion, about a handful. Later on, I added chopped parsley as well as chopped green onions and a handful of diced green beans. You could use peas if you want. Now my pot was looking dry. I added 2/3 cups of water as well as seasoning cubes. Now I added a handful of diced bell pepper and a handful of diced potatoes. Now I'll be adding a pound of ground meat. At this point in time, I felt like my thing was okay. I added garlic powder, some pepper sauce, and a pinch of salt to taste. Now I added a teaspoon of cornstarch, which helps to bind the filling in the dough. You could either add cornstarch or regular flour. Here I added diced carrots, still a handful, as well as more water. I added ground paprika because what I had earlier did not taste as spicy as I wanted, and later on a pinch of salt, still to taste. Now I added some more water and I covered it for it to simmer for about 10 minutes. So this is what I really wanted to get. Now onto the dough. 2.5 cups of flour, 2 sticks butter. Make sure the butter is cold. You want cold butter. I chopped it into small pieces. Yep, you want real cold butter. Now I used my hands, which I had washed earlier, to play with the butter and the flour. You want to really mix to make sure everything gets combined. You don't want any lumpy butter. Then I added 3 tablespoons of sugar and 1 teaspoon salt. So these are the ingredients you need, as well as a half cup of cold water, ice cold water. Continue to mix. I added the rest of the ice cold water and I just played around. You don't want to over mix this dough. You just want the dough to be set. You don't have to knead for too long. You just want it to be firm, because if you over mix the dough, you end up having a stretchy dough which is not going to be buttery and crumbly like you want. So after doing that, I divided into 2 and I kept it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. You want to be working on this dough when it's cold. So now this is my filling, and I will start working on the meat pie itself. So after 30 minutes, I took out my dough, I cut it into small pieces, and I was ready to roll with a rolling pin. But first, you need some flour to dust your working surface, because you don't want your dough sticking on the working surface. If you're here for your first time, hello and welcome. You are going to love it right here, as I produce content on cakes, pastries, and everything in between, and I upload videos every Friday. Continue to watch as I do this. So yeah, I put the filling in. I used a fork to press it down. Just watch. It's very much self-explanatory. To all my returning subscribers, thanks so much. I love you so much. Keep sharing the video, and if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Now I decided to make a square, I'll say a rectangular pie. So I just used a knife to cut it to the shape I want, and I filled it with the filling, and using the forks I pressed down. I just wanted to try different designs, different shapes, because again, you can always play around with whatever you have. Continue to watch. And please again, do not forget to subscribe. So here I used a knife to just make some lines. I was just trying to be creative. Yep, I was just trying to be creative. So when you're using the knife to cut through the dough, make sure you don't press it too hard. It might really cut through and it might be hard for you. So just be smart enough, be creative and smart enough. Yeah, just continue to watch. It was quite fun working on this dough. It was very easy to do too. You are going to love this recipe, trust me. You're going to come back and tell me you really love this recipe. Now, I also used the fork just to play around to make sure everything was sealed. Then I took an egg and I washed it over the dough because you want to have that golden brown color after baking. So yeah, that is exactly what I was trying to do. And also you can use a fork to poke in through your dough, to poke in through the pie, such that it gives room for the pie to bake. I put that in the oven set at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I baked for about 25 to 30 minutes. Now I continue to work on the rest of the dough. Just continue to watch. And please, if you haven't subscribed, please, I'm going to cry. Let's continue to subscribe, to share, to like, to comment. Again, just watch as I do this. Usually the egg wash or the egg brush on the pie is usually the last stage of everything. Once you do this, set in the oven to bake for 25 minutes to 30 minutes. This is the meat pie already done. Look at how it looks. Look at me breaking into that. So soft, crumbly, buttery, tasty. Look at this. Don't you like what you see? Oh my goodness, I couldn't stop eating this, and my kids too loved it so much. If you missed last week's video, please check the link above to watch how I used just 4 ingredients to make this amazing pizza. It tasted really good. And again, don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share, to comment in the comment section if this is something you'll be trying. And thanks so much for watching to this point. I am so grateful and I love you so much. Happy Good Friday, and do not forget, life can get bitter. Eat meat pie to make it sweet. Bye, and see you next week for another video.